Don Beltran, Dave Urick back from Husky Stadium. How many times have we said 3-4 yards in a cloud of dust? And that's what's happening so far with the first 6 plays for Brush.
You bet. It's got the kind of feel to it where you'd like to just see him bust one wide open and get a real huge play. They had that 1 6-yard run there by Garcia that looked like it could have gone for a lot more. But, the Diggers just got to be patient and just keep pounding that football.
1st and 10, just beyond the 50-yard line. Garcia handed off right up the gut to Skyler Seawald. And he's down to around the 46-yard line, 4 hard yards before Matt Addington made the tackle. Welcome back to Skyler Seawald, game 4.
Yeah, the same thing he usually gets. But it's neat to see him in there. It makes me just smile, and I'm so happy for him that he's getting to play some more football this year.
2nd down and 6 for the Beat Diggers of the Florence 46. With 8:20 to go in the opening quarter. And with a back split, Garcia will hand it off to Seawald, running left, slips out of a tackle, and then he dives to around the 44-yard line. Not much there for Seawald. And it looked like Darren Rehel, the senior defensive end, made the play. It'll be 3rd down, and we'll call it the long 5.
That started out as one of Seawald's typical runs as well. One of those types when you've seen him so many times get hit, but just drive his legs so hard that he causes the defender to miss. But unfortunately, the next guy that flew in there hit him low and kind of kicked his feet up in the air and made him land on his back.
This will be the 9th play of the drive for the Beat Diggers. All have been on the ground, 3rd down and 5. With a football at the Florence 44-yard line. Garcia on the option right will take off with the football inside the 40. He's got a 1st down to the 38-yard line before the tackle was made over there, picking up 6 yards. And it was Brehel once again making the play. And an excellent decision by Garcia, because I think the pitch man was covered.
Yeah, they had 2 linebackers. The corner and the linebacker were out there taking that pitch man. And Garcia could have pitched it, but I don't think they would have been able to pick up the yards they needed for the 1st down.
And boy, what a drive this has become. The Beat Diggers have chewed up over 4 minutes, 1st and 10 from the Florence 38-yard line. And the Huskies have yet to touch the football. The Beat Digger drive began at their own 28. And on 1st and 10 for Brush with a back split, the outside receiver to the left is Hansen. And Garcia is going to hand it off on the right side, and a knee down. Skyler Seawald had it down at the 35-yard line. It looked like he had some daylight, but just lost his balance. He still picks up 3, 2nd down and 7.
He just got tripped up, and his knees touched, and he lunged forward for 2 more yards, but that was behind the block in there of Luke Nichols and also of Rosenbrock, as he ran that 46 out there trying to kick out that defensive end.
Well, if the Beat Diggers do not score here, they have still accomplished something, because they're chewing up almost half of the first quarter clock. For Brush, 2nd down and 7 at the 35-yard line of Florence. And there is the pitch left. Tanner Morrow's got a running room to the 30-yard line. Tries to break out of a tackle, stiff arms a man, and he's out of bounds at around the 27-yard line. He's got a 1st down. If they give him the 27, that would be a pickup of 8 yards in the play for Tanner Morrow.
I hope I can describe this for everybody back home, but Brush had a tight end, but their tight end was about 3 or 4 yards out further than where he'd normally line up. And then instead of having our flanker line up wide of him, they had him line up right in between the tackle and the tight end and a couple yards back. And I think that must be some sort of formation that the coaches have seen that will allow them to be able to hook some of those extra linebackers that Florence has gotten and get that quick pitch out wide.
It's actually a 7-yard gain here to the 28, so they backtrack at 1 yard. So now they're going to measure for the 1st down. If the Beat Diggers don't get it, it looks like they're a little bit short. It would be 3rd down, and we're probably talking about inches at this point. Committed to serving those in production ag. Premier Farm Credit is the gold standard in ag lending. It will be 3rd down, and just inches to go for the Beat Diggers at the Florence 28-yard line.
Yep, and it is just inches. You saw the official when he signaled the coaches how far they have to go. He didn't hold up 2 hands. He only held up 1.
The first 11 plays of this drive have all been on the ground. 3rd and inches for the Beat Diggers at the 28-yard line of Florence. In the backfield are Weiser and Rosenbrock. Garcia will hand it off to Weiser, right side, gets hit behind the line of scrimmage, but drives those legs for a 1st down to the 26-yard line. He could have lost a yard. Instead, he gained 2.
That was all heart right there. He was bunched up there behind the line of scrimmage. Austin Acosta and Luke Nichols were trying to get that line surge they needed for the 1st down, but there was such a charge of linebackers and defensive linemen up there for Florence with 4 down linemen on that particular play. and the hole was closed. But luckily, Weiser was able to keep his feet driving, and he fought forward for 3 yards.
C.J. Kukas is the quarterback. 2 receivers out to the left and right. 1st and 10 from the 26. Kukas under center is going to hand it off to Weiser, running left inside the 20-yard line as he drives to around the 19. That's a solid pickup of 7 yards on the play, as it was Matthew McDowell, the senior linebacker, making the play, but 2nd and 3 after, once again, the gain of 7.
Right on. Like you said, Brush lined up with twins on both sides. One of those twins was Garcia. You could see the Florence coaches before the game were watching everywhere Garcia was at. They were keeping an eye on it. So you know they thought Garcia was getting the football. Brush comes back and just runs that trap up the middle for huge yards.
From the 19, 2nd down and 3. The Beat Diggers are in Florence territory with a back split. Garcia will hand it off to Seawald. He's got a 1st down to the 15 along the left sideline, still on his feet inside the 10, and he's out of bounds at around the 8. And a big, strong run for Skyler Seawald. And the Beat Diggers have a 1st and goal.
Yeah, Seawald again, just those big, long, lumbering strides. I think the play was designed to run like a 47, but he just bounced it out wide as the Florence Huskies plugged it up there off tackle. And once he got out there, he just kept driving his legs, and he saw him leave Florence defenders on their bellies as he ran past them.
Gain of 11 for Skyler Seawald. 1st and goal for the Beat Diggers at the 8-yard line. Garcia under center. And Garcia is going to bootleg it right. Does he have room to the outside? He swings it to the 10-yard line. He's stuck back there, and he's going to be driven out of bounds at around the 7. He really had nothing out there, and it was Matthew McDowell forcing him out of bounds. And actually he stayed in bounds, but no gain, or maybe a yard. 2nd down and goal from the 7.
One block. We need our wide receiver that was out there on that play to be able to pick up a block on that corner and be able to at least shield him enough for Garcia to turn it upfield, but he just couldn't do it, and that enabled the Florence defender to fly up there and force Garcia out of bounds.
This drive is now 7 minutes old. 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line. The Beat Diggers lining up along the right hash mark. The outside receiver to the left is Tony Guzman. Seawald and Morrow are in the backfield. And Garcia will hand it off to Morrow right up the gut, and he dives to around the 5, maybe the 4. As there was some nice penetration there by the Florence defenders, including McDowell, the linebacker. 3rd and goal from the 5 after the gain of 2. And we're coming up on the 17th play of the drive. No passes as of yet.
Yep, it's an awesome drive, just a lot of ball control. But here we are, 3rd and 5. It makes you start wondering if they have Jesus Cardenas getting ready to go for a field goal.
We have 4 minutes to go in the opening quarter, and Florence has yet to touch the football. 3rd and goal from the 5. Garcia on the option right. He'll pitch it at the last second, and Morrow had it in his hands, and then it went out of bounds, or he might have fallen on it back at around the 6-yard line, and that's because of the penetration of the Florence defenders. It's a loss of 1. 4th and goal from the 6, and this will be the 18th play of the drive coming up. Let's see if the Beat Diggers can convert.
No, they're down there talking about it, trying to decide what they're going to do and taking their time getting the play onto the field, but this is a real important decision.
Well, they're going to need a timeout here because they're taking up way too much time. The clock is running with 3:23 to go, and there is Brush's 2nd timeout. We'll keep it right here. No score here in the opening quarter of this 2A playoff game. For all of your auto supply needs, stop by Central Auto Parts in Fort Morgan.